This is the French Grand Prix, round 7 of the 1991 Formula One World Championship, being run at the new Manicourt circuit for the first time. On pole position, it's Riccardo Patrese in the Williams, number 6 on the left, Alain Prost with the red Ferrari on the right. And at the start, Patrese has a gearbox problem. He can't select second gear, and as we watch from his cockpit, the rest of the field goes storming by. Off goes Ivan Capelli in the Leighton House, but he gets back on the track. But also off goes Bertrand Gachot, the Belgian driver, in the Jordan, and he stays out of the race. Alain Prost in the Ferrari, to the delight of the French crowd, goes into the lead. Nigel Mansell is second in the Williams Renault. Meanwhile, this is the view from behind Nelson Piquet's Benetton of his teammate from Brazil, Roberto Moreno. Through in the lead goes number 27 Alain Prost's Ferrari. Mansell is second, then the two McLarens of Ayrton Senna and Gerhard Berger, and the other red Ferrari, which is Jean Alesi, ahead of Piquet and Moreno in the two Benettons. Riccardo Patrese, the pole position man, is down in 9th place after his slow start. Prost has pulled out a healthy lead in the number 27 Ferrari. Nigel Mansell is chasing in the Williams in second place, and all the rest of the field are left far behind. Out goes Gerhard Berger, the Austrian driver, with a mechanical failure in his McLaren. He was in 4th place, so now Jean Alesi's Ferrari is 4th. And this is Morbidelli, the Italian, spinning and clouting Nelson Piquet. And as we see from Piquet's cockpit, that has allowed Riccardo Patrese to move up into 6th place ahead of him. Morbidelli's car is still stationary. Eventually he gets it going and rejoins right in front of Johnny Herbert in the Lotus, giving Herbert a nasty moment. Still, Prost leads. The Ferrari very smooth on the constant twists and turns of this tight circuit. Morbidelli has spun again, this time because the car has been damaged in his collision with Piquet, and now he has to decide to retire. Also retiring is the Japanese driver Satoru Nakajima, who spun his Tyrrell Honda into the sand. The Tyrrell crew don't look happy about it. Meanwhile, Nigel Mansell has got right onto Alain Prost's tail as they come up to lap a slower car, the green Jordan of the Italian driver Andrea De Cesaris. This is where Nigel Mansell sees his opportunity, because as Prost is being delayed by the slower car in front of him, he thinks he can get a run at the Ferrari and try and get alongside. And sure enough, as Prost goes to pass the Jordan, Mansell squeezes through on the inside and has the lead of the French Grand Prix. So now it's Mansell first for Williams, Prost second for Ferrari. Prost tries to close up again as Frank Williams watches from the pits. Frank Williams, the team manager of the Williams Renault team, and we watch again to see how Mansell forces his way up the inside of Prost's Ferrari, and Prost has to turn across to the left to make sure that the two cars don't collide as they turn into the corner. At once Mansell is able to pull ahead a little bit, but Alain Prost hasn't given up, and he knows that there are still pit stops to come for fresh tyres, which may change the whole picture. The drivers will be telling their pits via the radio in the cockpit, built into their crash helmets, when they are expecting to come in and how their tyre wear is going. Mansell looking very smooth now he's out in the lead, but still with Alain Prost not far behind, so he can't afford to relax. In the pits, they're getting things ready for the tyre changes. And in comes Riccardo Patrese for his first stop. Up on the jacks, On go the new wheels, but the front left-hand wheel is a little bit slow, and it's not a very fast stop. 12 seconds before the car is underway again, and in Formula One terms, that's a long time to change 4 wheels. However, Patrese has still been able to rejoin in 5th place because he's a long way ahead of 6th man Nelson Piquet. Who will be the next into the pits? It's 2nd placed Ferrari, Alain Prost. On the jacks, the Ferrari mechanics get the old wheels off and the new wheels on very quickly. Off the jacks and away he goes. The car has been stationary exactly 7 seconds. And he rejoins, still in 2nd place. Nigel Mansell in the lead, still has to stop. And this is Mansell coming down the hill through the chicane, going left into the pit entry road. This is the leader in the Williams Renault coming in for his tyre stop. And this stop could make all the difference between victory and failure. Up on the jacks it goes, the Williams mechanics get the old wheels off, the new wheels go on, the pneumatic wrenches tighten them up, and it's quick but not quick enough. Away he goes after 10.5 seconds. So he's lost 3.5 seconds on Alain Prost, and as he comes out, the Ferrari has gone by. Alain Prost's Ferrari leads once more. Nigel Mansell is down in 2nd place again. Mark Blundell, the British driver of the Brabham Yamaha, has put his car into the wall along the pits. He's unhurt, but the car is badly damaged. And now we watch from Nigel Mansell's cockpit. He's back on the tail of Alain Prost's Ferrari once more, and he wants to go for the lead. He tries one side, but can't make it. Then he looks at the other as he follows Prost through these constant corners on the Manicourt circuit. Once again, he's wondering if there are any back markers that can give him some help. Onto the start-finish straight once more. There are 3 back markers not very far ahead. And the 10-cylinder Renault engine in the Williams, pushing it closer to the 12-cylinder Ferrari engine. Watch how Mansell can get into the slipstream of the Ferrari and use it to suck himself closer on the fast back section. He's getting very close now indeed. And now as Prost approaches the back markers, he goes all the way to the left, goes all the way around the outside and forces Prost to hit the brakes hard to avoid driving into the back of the Williams. A typically determined, aggressive piece of driving from Nigel Mansell, and Mansell has the lead back once more. But Prost isn't giving up. Prost struggling to stay with Mansell, still looking to get that lead back. This is his home Grand Prix, remember, it's a very important race for him indeed. Now Mansell has some back markers to lap. The first one is Roberto Moreno, but we're going to see a replay of how Mansell saw the overtaking manoeuvre. Once past, he moves sharply across to the right to take the corner. So Mansell now with Roberto Moreno to lap in the yellow Benetton, which he does now. And the next car that Mansell has to pass as Prost goes through as well. Prost still very close to Mansell, but Mansell knows the next car that he has to lap is his own teammate, Riccardo Patrese, the man who started from pole position, but who was badly delayed by a gearbox problem. Now, inevitably, the Williams pit will have told Patrese on the radio exactly what the situation is. Mansell's coming up behind you, let him go by, and Patrese has done exactly that. Now Patrese will not make things easy for the enemy, the Ferrari-bound Alain Prost. And I'm sure that a wily old bird like Patrese, the most experienced Grand Prix driver in Formula One, he's not obviously going to block the Ferrari of Prost, but he's certainly not going to make it easy for Prost to get by. And there is Patrese taking his line on the corner, and Prost has to come off the throttle momentarily, and all of this is helping Nigel Mansell to move further ahead into the lead. Into the pits comes Nelson Piquet with the Benetton. It gets a new set of Pirelli tyres, But a tyre stop this late in the race is going to drop Piquet from 6th place to 8th. There's his teammate, Roberto Moreno, who decides to retire. He's been feeling very unwell and has gradually slipped down the order. And here's Nigel Mansell starting his final lap. This must be a very pleasing victory for Nigel, because he got so near to winning the Canadian Grand Prix 2 Grand Prix ago, only for the car to fail almost within sight of the flag on the final lap. So he certainly won't be relaxing yet. He won't believe that it's all over until he sees the checkered flag. Alain Prost still in 2nd place in the Ferrari, but there's quite a battle going on for 3rd place, because it's still the McLaren of Ayrton Senna 3rd, but he's having a last-minute push from Jean Alesi in the Ferrari. Alesi trying to get this 3rd place, Ayrton Senna trying to hold him off on this final lap of the French Grand Prix. Nigel Mansell, meanwhile, comes down the hill through the final chicane that leads him onto the start-finish straight. There is the checkered flag waiting. And Nigel Mansell wins the 1991 French Grand Prix. Behind a back marker, Alain Prost takes 2nd place.